Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. Unfortunately, we're starting off today with a bit of bad news. Due to the current global pandemic, the release of Hathaway's Flash has been postponed from May the 7th to May the 21st. The same then of course goes for all of the limited edition items that were supposed to launch alongside of the movie. However, for those of you who cannot wait, the first 15 minutes are currently available for your viewing pleasure if you either use a VPN or if you use some Google Foo like I did. Because, man, it was a blast to watch. It all starts off very relaxed. We just see Hausen Flight 356 escorted by two Jagans, and on board we have Gigi Andalusia, who simply cannot stop talking about her beloved Mafti Navi Eren. Sounds like a great plan for the people around you, especially when you're on board of a shuttle that would be the #1 target for said person. Like, that totally wouldn't stress out anyone, especially if they already had a fear of flying. One detail that stuck out to me here was the website. What was quite cool to see was that on one of the sidebars, you saw like the header of the Earth Federation's environmental minister claiming that the Earth is basically restored. We did an amazing job. Don't worry about it. We got this. We're amazing. But then on the other side, we see that there's a special report showcasing the realities of Earth's pollution, with a very damning picture above it. The next thing then that caught my attention was the Gaplant flying over the shuttle after it had gone down to Earth. Now my first thought here was, oh cool, they're getting a Gaplant escort now. I soon realized that this was not the case. Instead it was dropping off the terrorists. So putting my initial mistake aside, I hope that this means we're going to see more mobile suit cameos, just like we did in Unicorn. Oh, and another thing, if you pay close attention to the Gaplant, you'll see that the mono eye is green instead of the usual red/pink we would expect from a Gaplant. Now this could mean that it was the TR5 Hrairu painted in the normal Gaplant colors, because we have already seen a lot of Titan's machines falling into the hands of Neo-Zeon movements, so it would make sense for the Hrairu to have fallen into terrorist hands. At the same time, this could just be a patched up Gaplant with then a different colored mono eye, or straight up an animation error. Regardless of what it is, we then got some cool action scenes that definitely gave me hope for the rest of the movie. Colonel Kenneth Slegg isn't just the sociopath that I was worried he was going to be, and lo and behold, Hathaway managed to shine, and he got some pretty badass scenes in this 15-minute, well, I wanted to say trailer, in the first 15 minutes of the movie, so quite promising indeed. The scene then wrapped up with Kenneth suspecting that these folks who were claiming to be Mafti weren't really Mafti. And that sounds about right, because the main guy of the terrorists who boarded the flight claimed to be Mafti Navi Eren, which I don't think it's much of a spoiler at this point. We all know that he obviously isn't. So seeing as how well the movie started off, it only makes me more curious about the ending because, well, I'm not gonna give any spoilers here, but one of my favorite characters gets dealt a really shit hand. But considering that from what I've heard and seen, that they've already changed some of the things from the novel story and that some of the characters are just straight up different, I now really wonder if they're also going to change the ending, or how much they're going to change the ending. Finally then, I would also like to draw your attention to just how awesome these new covers are for the new versions of the Hathaway's Flash novels. I'd snag them up in a heartbeat if someone would put out an official English translation of these. And if you need some more Gundam stuff to watch, then Gundam Build Real's second episode got released, where they face off against a team that will no doubt be their arch nemesis throughout the series. They're using a custom shard Zaku 2, and they're called Team Monster. If that isn't a setup for a Gundam bad guy, I don't know what is. And then for fans of SD Gundams, SD Gundam World Heroes and SD Gundam World Sangoku Sojuden will start airing on April the 29th through various streaming platforms. But on to the Gunpla news now. This week they announced the brand new entry grade Strike Gundam, the second kit from Bandai's brand new entry grade line. Not to be confused with the entry grade Strike Gundam from the 2011 entry grade line. Bandai's confusing naming never ceases to amaze me. Anyways, as the name indicates, the main focus of this line will be on being easy to assemble, kind of making it the perfect entry point for someone who has never built a Gunpla before. And unlike earlier entry grades or cheaper models, the end result will actually be good and something very presentable, especially when you look at some of the promo pictures of this thing. And to make it even easier for consumers, there's going to be a whopping 4 different versions of the Strike Gundam, all of which are slightly different. In September, we are getting the entry grade Strike Gundam as part of a lottery from Ichiban Kuji, called Ichiban Kuji Mobile Suit Gundam Gunpla 2021. For 790 yen, you can buy a ticket, open it up, and it'll tell you which prize you won, indicated by a letter. A is the main prize, a special edition Mega Size RX-78-2. B is a special edition of the Master Grade Freedom Gundam, and at first I thought that they just didn't include that it was the new version, like the remastered version, but no, it turns out looking at the pictures, it's just the 1.0 Master Grade. Then C gives you a special edition 2 set of the Liu Bei Unicorn and Goku Impulse SD kits. D then gives you that clear version of the entry grade Strike Gundam with its armor Schneiders. F is a special edition of the SD Gundam X Standard New Gundam. And from here on, it's basically a you lost consolation prize. G gives you a plastic mug. H gives you a visual board, which is something like this, something that, especially in recent years, like they've been giving out a lot, whether it's at conventions or as consolation prizes for those Ichiban Takarakuji things, which, yes, I've participated in quite a lot back when I was still in Japan. I did get some luck with them though, because apparently unlike Gashapon luck, lottery luck is something I have a bit more of. And then I gives you a clear file and some stickers. In October then, we get the Strike Rouge with armor Schneiders as part of a special set for 1,650 yen, around $15, although it's not specified yet what the other stuff in this set will be. Then in December, we can finally get the normal version of the Strike Gundam, but again, just with the armor Schneiders, although this set only sets you back around $5. Which is honestly not bad if you just want a Strike Gundam to customize, combine it with other striker packs, or you just really want to display him with those armor Schneiders. And then finally in January of next year, we're getting another normal Strike Gundam, but this time it doesn't come with the armor Schneiders, but with the beam rifle and shield. It'll set you back 770 yen, and for those who cannot wait to get their hands on this version, it will be available for pre-sale at some event, which will be disclosed at a later date. And again, from what I can tell from the pictures, this will look like it's going to be a very solid version of the Strike Gundam. Like, despite being an entry grade, it's leagues ahead of the old high grade. Just look at the color separation in that head. That's something, I mean, not even all high grades do correctly. So to have that on an entry grade, that's really good. If you're just starting out with Gunpla, that looks like a really good thing to get into it. The only thing they'd still have to do is include some stickers for the main and the back camera, and this thing is quite literally perfect. And talking about building Gunpla, China just finished their 1:1 scale Freedom Gundam. I would make a joke about the name of the Gundam in relation to the country they're building it in, but for consideration of my own safety, I'm just going to move along with my reporting on this. Alongside the opening ceremony on the 28th, various Freedom Gundam versions GCP things will also go up for pre-order, like a very detailed 1/100 scale full mechanics kit for 4,400 yen that also comes with a bunch of stickers, and it looks really good if you ask me. I might have to contact Side 7 Exports about this one. There's also an X standard kit for only 770 yen, which again is very nicely detailed, and its parts can be combined with high-grade kits. Cute and functional. Then there's an FW Converge figure for 2,310 yen, around $20, and of course a bunch of apparel to go along with it. There's a t-shirt for 3,850 yen, a zip-up hoodie for 8,250 yen, a face towel for 2,420, a really nice looking bandana for 2,420 yen, an acrylic charm for 1,320 yen, and finally a tote bag to store all of that stuff in for again 2,420 yen, or around $20 roughly. And on the same date, pre-orders also went live at P Bandai for the Robot Damashii Site MS KA Signature Penelope. And at 29,700 yen, just shy of $300, it promises to be quite a heavy hitter, both money-wise and shelf presence-wise. It's all nicely detailed, and as always with Kotoki signature figures, it's got markings all over the machine, giving it a nice realistic feel. And they even promise us that there is no parts forming involved in separating from or docking with the fixed flight unit. And if you want to, you can also display the fixed flight unit in Robot Chicken mode and the Odysseus by his lonely self. On to the stuff we could get this week then. On the 24th, there was the stunningly beautiful metal-built Gundam Astray gold frame Amatsu Mina Princess of the Sky version. Now, when I hear Princess of the Sky, a badass black and yellow color scheme with some red highlights isn't the first thing that comes to my mind, but I'm not complaining either. The other thing that I found a bit funny then is that they call the matte black finish that this thing has more luxurious. Now again, when I think about a luxurious finish, it's either a titanium finish or a glossy finish like they did with the real great gold frame. But hey, I guess it is easier to keep fingerprint free. As a special feature then, it's also compatible with the other metal-built Striker Pack compatible mobile suits for some extra added play value. On the same date at the Gundam base in Fukuoka then, you could get the high-grade Unicorn Gundam Perfectibility Destroy Mode Final Battle version for a whopping 3,740 yen. And while it does come with a lot of stuff, dear God, that color scheme is making my eyes bleed. This is honestly one of the worst color schemes I've ever seen on a Gundam, and even a mobile suit in general. There's even a BB Senshi version that can transform from Destroy mode to Unicorn mode for 1,980 yen, but I think I'm going to pass on both of them. On the 29th then, from the regular Gundam base, we got the SD New Gundam vs. Sazabi clear color set for 1,430 yen, and the cross silhouette Hello Kitty X Zaku 2 clear color version for 2,750 yen. And just as with the unicorns, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to pass up on these because, of course, I need to save up my money for those 24K golden statues of the Zaku 2 and the Gundam that went on sale on the 27th. In case you forgot, the two big ones are $250,000 US, and the smaller one goes for $39,000 for those plebs who just don't have that kind of money lying around readily. Pfft. Peasants. And to put things in perspective, the big ones weigh 1 kilo each, and 1 kilo of pure gold is worth around $50,000. I wish I had profit margins that big. Also, if anyone from UWorks, the company responsible for building these, would be interested in sending me one, I'm available for doing reviews on these. Don't be shy. Another crazy thing then we got this week was the Z590 Wi-Fi Gundam Edition motherboard from Asus. And fun fact, a while back when I was browsing AliExpress just for fun, I actually came across the RTX 3080 Gundam Edition. If I remember correctly, you could get it as on a pre-built system, and I was like, the hell? So apparently you can get some of those Gundam PC parts on AliExpress now, or at least you could back then. Anyways, on to this week's apparel news, which is all from Bankore. On the 27th, reservations open for the Anaheim Electronics collection, and the cool thing is that it's designed to look like real-life college apparel. So if you've always wanted to pretend that you attended the Anaheim Electronics Industrial College, now's your chance. There's a crew neck sweatshirt for 6,600 yen, a t-shirt for 3,850 yen, a face towel for also 3,520 yen, a tote bag for 2,200, a keychain for 1,210, a pouch for 1,650, and a mug for 2,420 yen. One day later then, pre-orders went live for the lettering t-shirts, of which two designs are available: the RX-78-2 Gundam or the title logo, each of which is available on either a black or a white t-shirt for 3,960 yen. And if that isn't exactly your style, you can also get the screenshot design t-shirts instead for the same price. And as the name indicates, it's a picture of the RX-78-2 or the Zaku 2 that consists of screenshots. I always find images like this super impressive. Like, they're always so well done. Although, unlike some other images I've seen in this style, some of the detailing of the RX-78-2 and the Zaku 2 is just drawn on there over the screenshots. And all of this apparel is currently scheduled for a June release. Finally then, the Gundam Cafe also has a really cool thing on pre-order: a Gundam 00 Snowglobe. Inspired by the ending of Gundam 00. It'll set you back 2,750 yen and is currently scheduled for a June release. And I can imagine a lot of big Gundam 00 fans who would totally want this. Now, I will have a link to the store page down below, but keep in mind, already at the time that I was researching this, it was sold out. Now, there's always a possibility of a restock or getting it through a secondary vendor, so don't lose hope just yet if you really want this cool snow globe. But that has been all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great day, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.